in the interest of full disclosure, you are an MD, if I'm
Yes,
not mistaken.
Yes, sir. Graduated University of Oklahoma Medical School.
And what is the difference between an MD and a DO?
Well, they are very minor, and the general public, when you're seeing a physician, would not detect any difference at all. Most hospital medical staffs have both MDs and DOs. About the only difference in training is that the osteopaths take a course called osteopathic muscle manipulation, where they can do more physical manipulation of the spine, neck, kind of very similar to some of the things that the chiropractors do, physical therapists do. That's really about the only difference at this time.
So Oklahoma has a medical school here in Oklahoma City, OU, and then OSU has one in Tulsa, and MDs are given at the Oklahoma City and DOs in Tulsa. Does Oklahoma need two separate medical schools?
Well, I think they do, and also University of Oklahoma, in addition, has Tulsa Medical College already, where medical school is a 4-year school, and 35 of the students who begin here in Oklahoma City will take their last 2 years of training in Tulsa. The plan is to consider making the Tulsa OU campus a 4-year medical school, so that we'll have a 4-year school of medicine by OU in Oklahoma City, a 4-year school of medicine by OU in Tulsa, plus the OSU College of Osteopathic Medicine in Tulsa. I think they're all needed because we're facing a critical shortage of physicians in this state already, and a large percentage of our state physicians are over 55 and considering slowing down or retiring, which will only make the problem worse. The Oklahoma City campus is pretty much at full capacity. We could not expand the class size without building larger buildings for larger lecture halls. In addition, you only have so many faculty and so many patients to work on, so it makes a natural sense to expand the size in Tulsa. The OSU College in Tulsa is also going to expand, but with the severity of the shortage, I think we need all the medical students, which will later transform to residents and then practicing physicians. Now, you have to remember, from the time you go into medical school until you see your first patient as a practicing physician is 7 years, and so this is truly an area where we have to have vision and look down the road.
Not that I expect you to be an expert on how other states do it, but how does a state like Colorado or Washington, with almost double the population, get by with just one medical school?
Well, they do have double the population. They have larger class sizes, and they have larger urban areas where they can have larger schools in one town. Now, Michigan is an example that I've looked at, and they've done a pretty good job of combining their MD and DO program. I actually looked and encouraged OU Tulsa and OSU to consider combining the first 2 years, because really microbiology is microbiology, whether it's an MD school or a DO, and perhaps they can share some faculty as they go forward, at least for the first 2 years. Again, the osteopaths have a course that the MDs do not offer called osteopathic muscle manipulation, but I think we could still offer that as an elective for those folks.
So that would be something akin to what I saw with Indiana, which has 9 different campuses where you can take the first 2 years, but everyone for the last 2 years goes to Indianapolis, I believe it is. So you would have almost the opposite, actually, where everyone goes to the same place for the first 2 years, and then if they want to split off, they would do it that way.
I think that would be a cost-saving measure, yes, sir.
As a legislator, is there any way to, you mentioned you made that suggestion. How does that get done?
Well, that's really going to be up to the regents and how they feel they can best get this accomplished and get the best bang for their buck. It is difficult politically. I mean, you do have rivalries here at the legislature, whether it's urban versus rural, Tulsa versus Oklahoma City, OSU versus OU, and to a certain extent, MD versus DO.